Return of the Mac. Yeah, well, that makes sense because my surname's McNeil. Just shut up, okay? Dash off. Yeah, I unironically like dubstep. Thank you. Oh, I love Zomboid.
We're living on a disk, floating through space, with a tiny sun.
Hello, I'm FTFE and welcome back to the channel that does to stupidity what apparently alcohol does to my old body. Yeah, so it was my wife's 40th birthday this week. I took the week off to spend with her as she was off of work as well. Had a party on Saturday night and then we went out for a drink and you know, I was in the Royal Navy. You know, drinking was kind of part of the culture and it'd be fine. You know, we'd go out at like 12:30. Say it was the end of the month and us skint sailors were getting paid. We'd go out like when our pay hit our bank at like 12:30 at night, right? And we'd party as hard as we could for an hour and a half before the club shut. You know, and you can get quite a lot of partying in an hour and a half. And come home, not really have any sleep, and then get up at 5 o'clock for parade and be absolutely fine, right? You know, then go on like a 5-mile run and do PT and stuff. But nowadays, like, just the smell of tequila and I have to take a lie down. It was quite a messy night. We went somewhere where people knew us, so a lot of drinks were bought for us, and our drink of choice is generally tequila, so there was a lot of tequila. And then for some reason at some point somebody decided to buy us Sambuca. Well, that was the point that Emma has no more recollection of the night. So yeah, it was fun. So yeah, I've been off for the last week, but my wife is more important than anything in this world. So she was absolutely worth it. I hope you've had plenty of my stuff to watch in the meantime, because I did do like a whole week of content just before that. If you look at my community post, my wife is going to be doing a triathlon in July to support SAFA, the military federation foundation that helps ex-service people when they need it, and they helped me when I needed it, and it's a good thing to support, and there will be a fundraising stream for that very soon. But tonight is back to the derp. Yes, the derp. The wonderful derp. And oh my goodness, there's been some good derp. There's a new venture in the flat earth world called auditnasa.com. It's, you know, it's the flat earth equivalent of being a sovereign citizen. They're a federal agent. You can't. Anyway, I hope that they would like to talk about that tonight. So let's go over to the Discord, the Cosmology Tartaria Discord. And just before I do, I will get the link to invite people. Copy. So if anyone wants to come and join in the server, have some fun, then the link to join the Discord server is there. I mean, they're flat earthers, but they're generally an alright bunch. They've been pretty good to me, letting me use their server to stream and stuff, but it is a lot of fun and a lot of derp over there. But let's go and say hello and see what's going on.
Being a contrarian there. I mean, sometimes I listen back to myself. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I mean?
It's an epidemic of contrarianism. Oh my god.
Work like being contrarianism of contrarianisms.
Wouldn't that mean you're on the same side? Stop double negativing me out, dude.
Hey, so Shane, do you think Austin could get Brian Myers in here sometime?
I don't think he would want to. I think he wants Brian Myers on his own show. Oh, what's up, Craig?
Hello, guys. How are we doing?
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
How's the heart doing, Craig?
Oh, the heart's fine. Yeah, I've recovered from that mostly. I try not to have more than one heart attack in a year. Okay. You know, it's a rule of mine, so I'll stick to that.
We all want you to live to 150, Craig.
Yeah, well, I've already got plans, so it's fine. When I take over, you know, I'll be the one that lives, and you know, you'll all die first. So don't worry. I mean, what?
There was literally a super globe troll who came in and told us she wanted to put all flat earthers on an island and then genocide us all. So that's not that bad, right?
How did that was a private conversation? I mean, it was more send you all on a ship to space, but that's it. You don't get to come back. Just
I know this one was a little bit more maniacal than most.
I don't think you can make a spaceship large enough that will go into space. It has to be small to go to space, but you might have a better, like, you know, we were talking about art. Right?
Well,
so
actually,
if you were to die, you may, you know, early, not try to live so long, please. You might have a bigger impact on the world.
Right. Well, there is this new space launch company that literally yeets stuff into space. They use an extremely fast-spinning machine to launch projectiles into space. I wonder if we could fit, like, flat earthers one at a time into that. What do you reckon?
They don't catapult it fully into space. They just give it some other way to save on fuel.
Yeah, but it's still going to hurt, is my point, right? Look, I'm talking about murdering all flat earthers here, just because that's what everyone thinks that I want to do. So I might as well, you know. No, I don't want to kill you, obviously. Where would I be without fun like this?
Right? How would you even make money? I don't know.
Oh, I'm sure there'd be other ways to make money, but it's more about the fun that I have.
Yeah, but you said it yourself. There's other things you could do on YouTube. You choose this because you like it.
YouTube,
so
dude, if it wasn't for this, I'd be on OnlyFans. Who's to say I'm not ready on OnlyFans, right?
That's a bad assumption on my part.
But FTFE, what brings you back, like, on a weekly basis? What's the...
There's a lot of people here that I can have multiple different conversations with. There's a lot of different opinions within the Flat Earth here. There's some hostility. There's some niceness. I find it fun. I find it educational. You know, there's always something new here to talk about.
Do you enjoy being the contrarian of the conversation?
Well, I wouldn't say I'm necessarily the contrarian of the conversation. I don't disagree for the sake of disagreeing. That's what a contrarian is. Whenever I disagree, I have, you know, succinct points as to why I disagree. A contrarian just disagrees for the sake of disagreeing.
Would a contrarian say something like this? Would they say something like, I don't know why you're wrong, but I know you're wrong?
That's a good one.
No, that's not what a contrarian would say. That would be someone who is being intellectually honest and knows the conclusion, but doesn't currently have the ability to explain exactly how to come to that conclusion. It took me a couple of weeks of studying, and then I got to that conclusion, because that's what someone who doesn't know all the answers tends to do. So I was aware of the conclusion because I you know, of the basis that I studied, but I didn't have the verbal or you know, masterful skills around the subject to be able to succinctly explain why he was wrong. That came after a little bit of studying into the subject, delving into the maths a bit deeper. So no, there's nothing contrarian about that, because I wasn't disagreeing with someone for the sake of disagreeing.
You were just disagreeing because you knew he was wrong and you didn't know how he was wrong.
Yeah, I knew the conclusion was wrong, but I didn't know how to explain the reasons behind the conclusion. Which is
I respect you for saying that.
Yeah,
I respect you for saying that, but not enough not to meme you about it, right? That's where I'm at with it.
Oh, yeah, cool. Of course. I mean, if you have any idea how many memes there is about me from the Flat Earth, I think a
So
video
many,
on
yeah.
just the memes would be like a few hours long. So there is one new thing in the Flat Earth space that I've seen pop up recently, and I wanted to chat to you guys about that. And that was this Audit NASA thing.
Yeah, we don't know much about it. It's which it's new thing. It's a new company,
Yeah.
right?
Thoughts?
Never heard about it.
Oh, I already applied.
Is it like the First Amendment audit kind of type of
Yeah,
shit for NASA?
If we look at the website, it says holding NASA accountable, demanding a standard of honesty and transparency. What are NASA not being transparent about?
Well, I can think of one incident that caused a lot of uproar. So there was this rocket launch, right? And it was said to be, I can't remember how far away, like 40, 50 miles away. And when the boosters turned on, right,
Yeah.
you're watching the video and you can hear it all turn on, it all syncs up perfectly, right? So, you know, somebody questioned, it would be like almost like a audit NASA thing. So somebody questioned NASA, said we need answers on why the speed of sound traveled instantaneously with the speed of light. Right? Why do we see the rockets and hear the rockets at the exact same time? And what their answer was that they went back and edited all the videos to give the viewer a better experience. Not a true experience, but a better experience.
Have you got
And
any
what
evidence
else
of
have
that
they-
claim,
what else
or
have
is
they
it
not-
just something that's been said? I remember something similar, and it was the sound was actually edited on not by NASA but by someone else that had put the video there to show, to sync up some different videos. But when they actually showed the video launch from NASA, the sound came a while after the boosters came on. Is there any evidence of what you just said is a thing? Or?
So after being questioned, NASA then gave the original video of what they claimed was the original video with the sound being delayed exactly per the speed of sound.
Have you got any evidence of all this happening? I'd love to have a look at that.
Just as much as you have to rebut it and say, I remember.
Well, I remember something similar that's been talked about with a video that you've been describing, but I don't remember anything going along with NASA saying that, oh, they did this to give a better viewing experience or anything. I remember a similar argument from a flat earther, but your specific claim is, this would have been in the news and stuff, and, people would have talked about it.
Why would it be in the news?
Well, if it was known, as you said, that NASA then admitted that they edited it and stuff,
news?
Then that seems like something that would be in the news, or at least an article or something. Something from NASA. Where did you get this information from, and where can I look up this information you are claiming?
Has it been in the news that NASA edited the moon landing videos?
Well, that's a claim that NASA edited the moon landing videos.
No. I mean, they don't give us.
You're saying that NASA admitted they did this thing, right? Do you have evidence of that?
They don't give us. Let me speak. Yeah. So they don't give us the 6-day, feed of the moon landing, right, or whatever it was, 3 days, 6 days, whatever it was, right? So is it in the news, like breaking news? We got a 1-hour video of a moon landing. No, of course they edited it.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
I think it should be in the. Yeah. So they don't have the entire moon landing on video. The entire.
Well, no, because
ship,
right? The moon landing wasn't recorded because there was nothing there to record the moon landing. So why would they?
I think no thanks. Just the idea. There's not one NASA photograph that has its metadata intact. Forget
Incorrect.
about the moon
There's
landing.
millions of them on NASA's website. That's a lovely claim again. But I'd like to stick to one at a time. I'd like to stick to one claim at a time. And first of all, I'd love for the claim that NASA admitted they edited it and stuff. Where does that come from? Where can I read about that claim and verify what you've just said? Or is it just something that you've heard from somebody else and believed? I would just like evidence of the thing that you said. That's all.
I have the proof right here in my hand, but.
You've got the proof there. Lovely. Can I see it?
It's actually in my hand. That's in paper form. It's not technology ready. But,
okay. I'm sure you've got a camera there, so take a photo of it and stick it in the chat.
Yeah, no. So just under the premise of understanding that they obviously, right, don't give you the full satellite, like, right, they don't show you the whole video of them launching it. They cut it and they make
You're making a bunch of claims here, but you know, they don't hide anything.
Are you saying that they get?
I'm just asking for
satellites
evidence of your specific claim, all right? We're just talking about the one claim
that's
that
what you're
you've made
claiming.
right now,
That's what you're
right?
claiming.
No.
Your anti-claim to
You're
my
the one that's
claim
made the
would be
claim
that-
here. I've not made any claims, right? You're the one that's made the
John.
claim that NASA admitted that they edited this footage and then went back and then gave the real footage. Can you provide
You're very
evidence of that
boring
claim?
right now. I have
All
it
right.
right here in
Oh,
my
yeah.
hand.
That's
Right.
where flat earthers go. When I demand evidence, I get called boring. Right. Okay. No worries. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to dismiss your claim as there's no evidence of it.
Don't do that.
Right. So you're not aware that when they show you a rocket launch, right, on TV in 20 minutes, that it didn't actually take 20 minutes?
When they show you a
Not
NASA
aware.
a rocket launch that didn't, what you on about? They show the length of the rocket
When
launch.
you watch a documentary, right, when you watch a documentary of a rocket launch, that it didn't actually only take 15 minutes.
So are we talking about like live videos, or are we talking about documentaries made with editing and stuff afterwards?
Documentaries, videos.
Yeah, well,
of the Apollo
documentaries
mission,
are different.
yeah.
Documentaries don't tend to show an entire rocket launch from beginning to end. There's plenty of videos that do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So you're aware they edit videos.
Yeah, and they never say, you know, they never hide
Okay,
the fact
so the
that they
point-
do edit videos.
Okay, so the point of the audit NASA that Witsit put together was to get a preemptive asking for the full video before they edit the video. That was
But
all.
they always
You
release
make
full
something
videos.
so
They
short,
never
so
hide
long.
them.
That's your
You
claim.
can watch these.
No,
You can
no,
watch
no.
these things live. Everything they do is publicly
us
available.
one.
It's an
Show us
you know,
one
it's
video
a
of it.
federal agency. Everything they
Yeah.
do is public knowledge, including all their accounts and business
Great. Tell the
workings and
CIA I
everything.
want all their videos, please. Tell
Yeah.
the CIA I want all their
Wait.
videos.
FTFE, that's a claim you just made. So can you show us one unedited video by NASA?
Yeah, there's
One.
lots of unedited videos by NASA.
Yes. That's your claim. Can you show us one instead of
any
lots? Just one.
Yeah, there's an hour-long unedited video of a tour around the ISS.
Every time, Egypt, you ask for proof from a globe earther, this is what they give you.
I literally just said what it is, and I can go and get it for you if you want. So
Go
shut
ahead,
that
go
mouth.
get it. Go fetch.
All right, unedited, uncut footage around the ISS. That was like over an hour.
You don't have
Thing must be on a globe.
I don't care if you
I'm
get it.
just getting it.
Wait.
So
Yeah.
chill.
No, I don't care if you do. But maybe Egypt does. He asked for it.
Oh, you don't care if I do. All right, it doesn't matter then. All right, yeah, you don't care
Well,
that I can show you the
so
evidence, right?
you-
Typical
you
flat
just asked for
earther.
it.
I get the. I talk about the evidence. Oh, I'm bored. I demand evidence from you
Watch
guys.
it.
I'm boring. I'm about to get the evidence. Oh, and you don't care. So right, yeah, you
No,
don't
that's
care
fine.
about
I'm
the
not saying
truth.
I'm gonna hand
Nothing
away
from
credit. It's
NASA is deceptive. They don't have anything that they're hiding from people.
I didn't
Right?
mean
They,
to do that.
everything
Yes, I
they
care and
do
I
is
want the video.
publicly available
Sorry for
data.
giving you
They
such
and
an
also
easy
here's the
out.
thing:
I
they're a
do
federal
care and I want the
agency.
video.
You can't even audit a federal agency. No citizen has the legal authority to conduct an audit of a federal agency. So
Yeah.
this entire thing is nonsense.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, earlier I mentioned the metadata thing, right? That's another thing. It just like as long as you're bringing up that ISS video,
And that's
like
a
if you were
fucking
busy
lie
doing
right
that.
there.
I mean, just get
Okay?
these two words
Mr.
in.
Big Mouth. All
Yeah.
right.
What's he talking about?
Thank you.
Let's go one at a time. All right. Sorry, carry on.
Yeah. You want to go, Jim? Or can I go?
Egypt, I interrupted you, so I really want you to finish because I did interrupt you. I don't want to
No,
get
that's
into
fine. I'm just I've never seen pictures taken from space by NASA with metadata intact. And
Have you looked?
FTFE earlier was like, what? You don't know what you're talking about. So I'd love for a picture from space by NASA with its metadata intact. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, just go
I mean,
to their website. They have like whole catalogs
That's
of them.
exactly that's the source I've used. Their website.
And
None
the
of the
metadata is
photos.
there. All right, so
No,
okay,
it's
lovely
not.
claim you've got then. So come and show me all the pictures that you've shown that you've seen that don't have any metadata at all attached to them. That are
I'll show you
official
one.
pictures of
All I need
NASA
to
that
show you
NASA
is
took
one.
from space.
And all you need to show me is one. Okay. All I need to show you is one. I'm not going to show you every single photo on NASA's website, but my claim entails that they don't. So I'll show you one, and you show me one. How about that? Does that work for you?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have it right here. I'd have to look and find it, but I know I've seen it before because I've had this argument before. But you saying that every single NASA image ever is devoid of metadata. Is that your claim?
No, listen carefully. I said every image taken from allegedly space is void of metadata.
So every image that NASA has ever taken from space, according to you, every single one is devoid of any kind of metadata.
Not devoid of any kind. It's not complete. I.e. transparency. There is no kind of it's been altered. Like the metadata is just
in what way has it been altered?
Barely, well, what do you think the metadata includes? Like, for example, one of the things is the XYZ location. Is that included in any of their metadata?
I don't know. You can't really apply an earthbound coordinate system to something in space, so maybe it's got a different set of metadata.
Is that available?
Well, again, you can't have earthbound coordinate systems applying to something that's not on Earth. So maybe they've got different coordinate systems that they use.
Yeah, and are these different coordinate system data available?
Again, I don't know. You're saying there's no metadata. That was your claim, but now you've changed it to, oh, well, just not all the metadata.
No, yeah, I know. I made it clear from the beginning. It's not a complete. It's not
right.
Complete
So, okay, here we go.
And that's the whole point. It's transparency. Right. Transparency.
Right, here, I've just found a good one here with all the metadata intact. So, of course, my ISP doesn't let me access that page because it's American. Sorry, two
Can we
seconds.
just chalk it up to that anytime we ask FTFE for evidence of his claims, he can't produce them? Can we just move on?
I can produce it. I literally said I would produce the ISS video and was told it doesn't matter. I have it ready to present. I'm just getting...
just screenshot it. If you got it, just screenshot it. Screenshot it.
Screenshot which bit? What
the metadata.
I'm getting... You said
you just found the metadata. Just screenshot it. Let's see.
But the link to the page isn't working from my ISP because
that's why you can just screenshot whatever you have, whatever you saw. You said you saw something, so you said you got it right here, so screenshot it.
If you bear with me, I'm trying to find a complete bit of evidence that I can present instead of partial evidence. Is that okay?
Well, whatever you said you had, I mean, that should be something, right?
It's not going to prove anything either way. It'll just add or remove doubt. So what's the point of all this? It's just going to add or remove doubt. It doesn't prove anything. It doesn't prove which way the Earth's curving or not curving.
Very helpful to the conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, but it does beg the question, though, doesn't it? It does beg the whether the ISS is up there or not. And according to Sir Bernard Lovell, it wouldn't be up there because the radiation level would instantaneously kill the astronauts.
It's up there, though. You could see it.
What do you mean that radiation levels would instantly kill the astronauts? That's one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard.
What do you see?
I could see a fucking outline in the shape of the fucking ISS.
An outline does not an ISS make.
And
hey, look at my photo of the ISS I sent.
ISS make, sir, an outline. Thank you. Sorry, you never saw shit. And then did you actually go up to space? Have you been to space to confirm that?
Oh, nice generic fallacy there. All right, here we go. Excellent.
You're the fallacy. You're the one with the fallacy, sir.
No, you're literally using a generic fallacy as we speak. So you're the one using the fallacy.
In order for you to verify that...
No, that's called a generic fallacy. That's literally called a generic fallacy.
The level of integrity would be...
Yeah, no, you don't understand how science works. That's a you problem.
You have to be on it.
No, that's not how science works. That's called a generic fallacy. If we all had to do everything that everyone ever does, nothing would ever get done. You fucking moron.
You would have to be on it. You'd have to, are you calling me a moron?
Yes, I am, you moron.
You're a scumbag of the earth.
What's that, moron boy? Homo habilis discovering his opposable thumb says what?
Demons.
Homo habilis discovering his opposable thumb says what, buddy? Yeah, I thought so. Right, here we go. So I'm just getting the image to post in the chat right now, and then I'll post all the metadata to show that there is NASA photos with metadata, despite the claim that there isn't.
There wasn't a claim that there isn't photos.
That was literally the words that were said. NASA photos don't have metadata.
For the record,
so there's a lovely photo, right? And here is the link to.
No, you can't do them separately. No, I know. I said, hold on. When I said a screenshot, that was like, hey, show us real quick right now. Whatever you got, show us so we can go track it down. Now, if you're going to try and provide us
the metadata
a photo
for that video.
Hold on, I'm talking, dude.
I know. I'm just finishing what I was doing, so take your time.
If you're going to send us a
metadata works.
Yeah, you can't send us a photo and separate metadata, dude.
Yeah, my PC's being dodgy, but you can go and look up these photos yourself and check that the metadata is correct, right?
No, this is a bad idea. Like what
Here's
you're
the thing,
doing
right?
here,
I've just shown you a picture, right? Right. Let me talk. Let me talk. Here we go. Let me talk.
Okay,
I've just sent you a picture, and I've just sent you the metadata, right? You can go and check if it's correct or not.
Go ahead.
I just sent you a picture, and I have sent you the metadata. You can go and check if that's correct or not. It's up to you.
Wait, are we using live stream or general? Because we should use live stream.
Whatever you want to do.
I think you're in general. Yeah, that's why I didn't see what you were saying.
Yeah. But the claim that there isn't metadata, which was the claim, is completely false. So again, what is there to audit on NASA?
Yeah, I think, Craig, you might be right, but the only thing you're wrong about is that you claimed every single photo has metadata, and that was what that was.
Every one that I've looked at, that I've studied, every NASA photo that I've studied has metadata of some kind attached to it. It's a ridiculous claim to say that there isn't.
I just want to point out that that was a claim. Every single photo, and he said if I could find one that would disprove you, and you said, well, let me find one. And it doesn't disprove anything, but it's okay. It's no big deal.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I agree with you that the kind of argument is pointless there. It doesn't prove or disprove anything. NASA's not being deceptive. They will always give you information. There's ways to get information that if it's not publicly available. As a federal agency, they are required to reply to things like freedom of information requests. Obviously, you can't do the same thing as you can audit a police station. But you can absolutely request information from them, and as long as it's not like top secret shit, they have to give you that information. If you're like, oh well, why isn't this video publicly available, and you want to find it, then you can submit a freedom of information request to find that video. They're not hiding it, but they might just not have put it public for whatever reason. The whole concept of auditing NASA is fucking ridiculous. There's nothing to audit.
FTFE.
No, they need to audit because they're a fraudulent company. They're
not a company, they're a federal agency.
They're an agency that's perpetuating fraud.
No, what fraud? What fraud have they ever done?
By 2025, that's fraud.
What fraud?
For a
How is that? In what way is it fraud?
Telescope, that's not up there. The James
and it is up there.
Telescope
it definitely is up there. It 100% is up there. Have you got any evidence it isn't up there? Because I've got evidence it is up there. Including a personal friend of mine tracked it.
Have you got evidence that it's up there?
Yes.
Have you got evidence that it's up there?
Yes, a very good friend of mine personally.
Shut up, you lying.
A very good friend of mine, Astronomy Live, personally tracked it.
You got a friend.
Yeah, Astronomy Live on Twitter. Astronomy Live on Twitter. You can go and check it out.
Jin, you got to do one at a time, bud.
Right. If you want to see any tracking data for the James Webb Telescope, Astronomy Live on Twitter actually has the. Yeah. My good friend Astronomy Live tracked it and gave the data for anyone to do it themselves.
Stop lying. You're lying.
I'm not lying.
You haven't got it.
Again, you want to go and check with Astronomy Live on Twitter? Please go ahead.
The Hubble's telescope is not up there.
Lovely claim. You got any evidence of that?
And yes, we have by Mike Mislinski, the deputy project manager, stating categorically that he hadn't set eyes on it for 25 years, and he's the project manager.
Can I see that claim, please?
I am going to put it in the general or the other one, whatever it's called.
Other one, live stream.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Live stream
I'm going to
text.
give you the
Right,
video.
okay.
You're going to listen to it. You're going to hear the man speak. All right. So shut your mouth, big un. Big.
But there's lots of other people that have seen it and worked on it and put it into space.
No, this is the man in charge. This is Mike Mislinski, the deputy project manager, the man in charge. There is no other man above him. Sorry. Sit down.
Well, if he's the deputy, then there would be someone above him because he'd be the deputy to somebody, right? Yeah, that's how that works. Yeah. Do you know what project managers do? They don't really need to be there. They manage the project.
Yeah, so shut your mouth. Sit down.
Make me.
Getting above your fucking station.
What's that, child?
You are now. Remain seated, boy.
I'm on the internet right now. Of course I'm seated, moron.
FTFE.
Yeah, well, shut up. Don't call me a moron.
But you are a moron, so I'm going to call you a moron. So,
You're a scumbag. You are
that
a
moron?
You've got a big nose.
Moron says what?
Big fucking four-eyed glasses.
Is that all you've got? Insults. Brilliant, Jim. What an excellent representation of flat earthers you are. Well done.
All right. Let's chill out, Jin. Alrighty, let's keep it on topic.
Chill out.
He doesn't have proof.
Hey, Jim, just so you know, you're making me money right now, so thanks, Jim.
I'm trying to be nice and polite.
No, you're not, you moron.
I'm trying to be nice and polite. I'm trying to be nice and polite,
You
but the
have
man is
not been
abusive.
nice and polite.
Not in the fucking slightest, you dipshit.
See what I mean? This is the dickhead here speaking. Listen to
Come
the
on, man.
ass, the head of a dick.
You
Well,
try to be the better person then. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
I doubt not with this scumbag. I can't.
Well, you can't let him get to you like that, Jin, honestly.
I mean, I love the fact that I can trigger this little child so easily. It's hilarious.
Yeah, you love that because you're making money.
Good job,
Yeah.
I love that you just gave us your... So I asked you the question, what brings you back every week? Would that be money?
No, not necessarily, because I don't always make a bunch of money. I mean, I'm not going to lie, YouTube is my job, you know? This is my full-time employment. But I don't need... Here's the thing, right? I don't need to do this. If I wanted to, I could just not work and collect disability benefits, but I do this because it's fun. I choose to do this.
Well, it's not line. In America, once you've proven you can still earn money, you can't just go back and get disability. You can apply
it's different
again,
because
but
I'm
that doesn't
military,
mean-
so I can apply for those military benefits whenever I want, and it's
Well,
fine.
maybe it's different in Europe. Maybe it's different in Europe, but in America, if you're capable of making income, you're not disabled.
He doesn't live in America, I don't think.
Yeah, I just said maybe it's different in the UK where you live. Well, you people not pay attention. You just overtalk each other nonstop.
I imagine the social constructs are quite different. The way that unemployment and stuff works.
I was giving you that.
It's a lot harsher for America, I think, than it is over here. To be honest.
Yeah, and I think you guys should all start going one at a time now, so I don't have to mute you.
Well, actually, I would say this is part of the show. I mean, FTFE walks in here like the lone shark, and everybody is supposed to attack him in some way, and you know what I mean, for the show to happen.
You made it sound so gay.
It is.
Yeah, maybe at the beginning, but right now it's on the don't overtalk and interrupt, and I won't mute you. That's where we're at. We're in that portion of the show.
Yeah, that's fine. I agree with that.
I just want to say thank you to the 680 people watching currently on my channel. You guys are amazing. Thank you very much.
Hey, you got to make sure you put our Discord link there, Craig.
I put it in the link at the beginning. But every time, here's the thing about the Discord links, right? Even though it says when you go in and you go to invite people and you edit the link and you change it to expire never, that's a fucking lie. That still expires. I don't know how long it takes. I've seen between 60 and 90. Right, so instead of keeping it in the description as like a default thing, I have to make sure that like during the stream I get a fresh one and put it in there. Otherwise, people can't. It's stupid.
We have our vanity. Discord.gg/Tartaria is our like permanent vanity link.
Okay, all right, that one would be easier
Yeah,
to
so
link. Do me a favor, go over to my stream, Shane, and drop that in the chat, and I'll link that permanently. All right.
I'm currently not allowed on YouTube again, so I can't do. But
You're currently not allowed on YouTube. What did you do?
Yeah, I'm never allowed on YouTube. I'm always getting banned. The fact that we have this channel rolling still is a miracle, actually. It's like a happy coincidence.
Craig, of the 680 people that are watching on YouTube, are they aware that they could join on Discord Cosmology Tartaria 24/7?
Yeah, that's why I give them the link all the time.
This is probably a good time to say to everyone that Craig is by far the biggest recruiter for this server out of anyone here. I think Michael is a close second, but Craig's links that he put on his channel got like 300, 400 joins. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say
and I don't mind.
Internet for them is YouTube, so Discord is like a foreign thing. Like, what? Discord?
Yeah, I had to learn about Discord.
If any of them, like, see, the thing is, like, there's only really you who has so-called glow proof. I haven't seen any of them come from your channel and post anything in the chat that proves a globe, and or come on to chat about it. I don't think they.
Well, I've actually brought people with me. Quite a few times. In fact, a few weeks ago when my internet died, the guy I brought with me basically ended up doing the stream himself.
He was a good guy, yeah.
He was great.
Yeah, well, I mean, instead of us like scatter gunning you, do you have anything you want to talk about FTFE? I mean, you're the star.
Well, I really wanted to talk about the Audit NASA thing.
NASA,
yeah.
We don't know enough about Audit NASA. It's Witset's unlaunched thing still, so it's still Witset's thing, right? You know, like he told many people about it. But someday you can make fun of it, and he'll be here to defend it, I'm sure.
I don't even think he's put it on his Witset Gets It YouTube yet, that you could find.
You mean you want to talk about Witset? That's your thing? You want to come on here and talk about Witset Gets It?
So far I've heard Craig's explanation on why.
You know what they say about people who talk about people rather than people who talk about ideas?
Yeah, Witset's not here right now, so I'm not going to talk about Witset. If Witset's here, I gladly talk to him and about him. I think that in general right now, people have heard me talk about Witset enough, and they're just waiting for my episode of Flerfs are Idiots, which due to my health had been put
my
back
question
a
is
bit.
still
Yeah.
my question is still, what do you want to talk about then?
If there's any evidence of the flat Earth, because like say last week when I came here, I talked about maps, and it was quite clear there's no flat map that works. I've asked for measurements several times, and it's obvious that there's no flat Earth measurements or stationary measurements that can be verified. So just why is there no evidence of the flat Earth if so many people are convinced the Earth is flat?
What would a flat Earth measurement look like? And how would it vary from the measurements that we take daily?
That's a question.
It would have a measurement that shows no curvature to the Earth and something that showed that there was no movement, using an appropriate method to do so.
Yeah, an elevation and angle actually is the answer to your question.
Elevation of the angle.
An elevation angle of a celestial body is the measurement.
Why would that be anything to do with the Earth being flat?
It doesn't show curvature.
Elevation angles have nothing to do with a flat surface. You don't use the surface as a baseline.
Well, you do use a baseline.
Yeah, but you don't use the surface of the Earth as a baseline. You use an imaginary line that's a tangent to the surface.
Oh, the imaginary surface.
No, you don't like, use the surface of the Earth. In celestial navigation, the surface of the Earth is not the baseline. The baseline is the line from the eyes of the observer to the apparent horizon. And the person is above the surface of the Earth. So the baseline in celestial navigation is not the surface of the Earth. It's an imaginary line.
Can a person be above the surface of the Earth and still be on a flat Earth?
That's
yes,
the only you can have elevation above a flat plane. Absolutely, of course you can.
Yeah, the only line was elevation above the surface. So try again.
Say that again. What's that imaginary line? you just mentioned.
It's the imaginary line that you use as your base in celestial navigation.
Oh.
It's what you take your sextant and you line it up with the horizon, and the line is from the sextant to the point on the horizon that would be underneath the celestial object.
Is that like a straight line to the horizon?
It's an imaginary line that's straight from you to the horizon. It's a tangent
to
the surface of Earth. Yeah.
Is it straight from the observer to the horizon?
Yes, because tangents are straight. Yeah.
I think you have to look down at the horizon.
This line is...
Yeah, of course you look down at the horizon. That's why there is dip corrections involved in celestial navigation.
Yeah,
that map out to the surface being a curve. Yeah.
Correct?
Say again?
It has nothing to do with sphericity.
Well, when you actually apply the dip corrections in the Nautical Almanac, they map out to showing that the Earth's a globe. Especially when you also apply the refractive corrections and show the data points. It shows that the Earth is a globe, as I showed in my video. Beginning of 2022, I actually showed that there's a point where when you map out the dip correction, it comports to the surface of the Earth being a globe.
So wait, can I? Yeah. Because I brought up the point. Can I just engage for a second? Sorry. So you're saying the dip correction is based on curvature?
Yeah, absolutely. It uses the spherical mathematics as part of its base.
But can you show me the dip correction calculation where curvature is evolved? I mean, I know it's only based on elevation, and it's done from the almanac, as you said earlier. I mean, at least you have that.
Well, it's based on distance, distance away, and what the dip should be based on that. So let me get it up for you. That's what she said. If I just show you the bit of my video, it's easier. My hard drive died, and I've lost a lot of my sources.
I don't need your video. I need you to show me.
I'm showing you the picture in the screenshot from the video that's got that data in, because my hard drive died, and I lost a lot of my sources of stuff. So the easiest way to get that is just to go to my video.
Yeah, FTFE, all things aside, do you know that you're pretty hard to talk to? I mean, I mean, I appreciate we're on both ends of the
trying to respond to you,
Oh, look, when I'm trying to get a word in, look, it's so
and you are getting many words in. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you that I'm getting you the thing that you're asking
my
for.
Words? Is that, like, I'm not even finished with my sentence. It's like, it's weird. But, yeah, go ahead. Finish your...
You said an elevation angle based on, so we start from the surface of the Earth, we elevate above it, and then we look down to the horizon, because we know the horizon is where the water is, and we know we're above the water, so we correct for how high above the water we are. Do we assume now that that's a straight line of equal elevation?
Exactly. I don't see where curvature comes in. Exactly.
I'll post you the geometry shortly. Egypt, FTFE. I'll DM Egypt in a couple of minutes with the geometry for it.
You're welcome to explain it better. You're able to jump in now and explain it better than I am. I'm just getting the data point to bring up and post.
Look, you do need Ruhef.
What a Craig Brown knows.
Ruhef is more of an expert in celestial navigation than I am, so he may be able to explain things better than I. There's nothing wrong with referring to somebody else that can help you get to your point. But if you look at the screenshot that I've just put in the chat there, it actually contains the spherical mathematics and everything mapped out to show that there is a curve based on the dip correction angles in the Nautical Almanac.
Is this what they did in like the 1500s when they looked at this picture?
Well, it's based on the current data in the Nautical Almanac, and you can look back and see that the Nautical Almanacs use the same data throughout history.
This is the issue I'm seeing. All of these diagrams, they've got this curvature that we're looking at all the way down there, because the ground beneath the observer should be the highest point on this theoretical convex Earth.
Well, at best, you're plotting the outcomes of the almanac on some sort of diagram or graph.
I mean, the almanac works, right?
Even factoring in,
hold on.
factoring in the dip correction, when you're pointing to the horizon, this horizon that you're pointing to is not all the way down there.
What do you mean? It's not the horizon? Is the horizon? You look at the horizon,
The
you get the angle,
in
and you apply the maths for the dip correction based on where the horizon is, and you take into account the refraction corrections and everything as well. And the maths involved in the dip correction are spherical mathematics.
Look at that chart you just posted.
Yeah, showing that there is a curve involved in the dip correction mathematics, and it works.
But at no point are we ever pointing like that down there to anything in the fucking far distance.
Well, it depends how high you are to how far the horizon is away.
Correct.
That's why there's different levels.
The higher you go, there is more of a dip angle, but what you're still pointing at is above the fucking ground.
No, it's
not.
Look where the lines come into. They're on the ground.
Listen, I like to argue. I just want to throw this out. I like to argue for concave Earth, which is it's curving up. So if you didn't realize that yet,
that's the most ridiculous. But,
okay, so my issue is even with this dip, even with this dip angle, when you're pointing to it, you're pointing above ground, which is all the way below the observer, the highest point on the convex Earth.
The dip, when you follow the lines on the dip correction graph, they go to the ground, not above the ground.
Your Earth, which is my Earth as well, it's supposed to curve down in all directions. And the highest point on this Earth is directly is beneath the observer.
And your point, that's what the graph is showing.
On your Earth.
But that's what the graph is showing.
Okay, so your Earth has no business, the horizon, to be rising up anywhere.
The horizon doesn't rise up.
It does if you point to it.
No, it doesn't.
If you imagine someone in an airplane and they were to point to that horizon, even with the
horizon drops with elevation.
Even with the measurable dip angle, if they were to point to that horizon,
pointing to the horizon doesn't make it rise.
The person directly on the ground at ground zero, which is the highest point on your Earth, where would they be pointing at to that horizon? They'd be pointing butt fuck in the sky.
Such a good point, Concave. Well done.
The horizon's not in the sky. What are you talking about?
It is when you're in an airplane.
No, it's not. The horizon's still on the floor.
But you could point to it, and it's directly in front of you.
It's not directly in front of you. It's dropped below eye level. The horizon drops with elevation.
You can still point to it. That's still above. That's still curving up either way.
Well, no, it's dropped the amount that we expect
I'm aware of the argument.
Wait. Let me finish. It's dropped the amount that we expect it to on a globe. Exactly the amount we expect it to on a globe. It shouldn't just disappear out of view. It just goes further away and drops down.
Your globe is calling it dropping down. There is deviation from eye level, but still what you're pointing at is in the sky. It's above the ground.
No, it's not it's on the ground.
When you're in an airplane, where's the horizon? It's fucking in front of you.
No, it's not. It's below you.
Okay. So first of all, we're gonna draw a perfect horizontal line from the eye level of the observer.
I've got proof that it's below you.
Which the horizon is not at. But we're gonna draw an imaginary perfect horizontal line to the eye level of the observer, which the horizon is not at. Okay, now you're gonna draw a secondary perfect horizontal line to the dipped horizon. Okay,
concave.
Not a.
What are you talking about? The horizon drops with altitude.
Good example on
this
how
is just a fact.
The Earth is.
Like, on my screen right now, on my stream, I am showing not only the horizon way below eye level, but the moon. The horizon is not in the sky. Who the fuck thinks the horizon's in the sky? No one's ever said that. The horizon is the point where the sky apparently touches the ground. It's on the ground. Silence. I love the silence.
I have an argument, and that's due to how light's bending in the Earth, but I'm not trying to bring that up or get into that right now. So I'm trying to see if there's anything else I can give you before we have to fucking move on.
They don't get it twisted. When someone's silent, globe, or flat, that doesn't mean there's been a win on either side. It just means someone's thinking about their answer. Thanks.
And I will say that the higher you go, we always see the floor seems to meet the horizon, or sorry, the floor meets the ceiling, no matter how high we go.
Yeah, but the apparent horizon drops from your point of view as you rise in elevation.
Listen. This is the issue.
It should only drop on a flat Earth.
No, it shouldn't drop on a flat Earth. It should drop on a globe.
So
It
wait.
should drop on a flat Earth.
So wait,
No, it
everyone,
really shouldn't. On a flat Earth, there's no reason for it to drop.
everyone's seen this GIF, right? The simple horizon test GIF with the globe on the left and the flat on the right. What do you think about this, Craig? Because the only way I can think about it as a glober is to say that we misidentified what reality looks like, because clearly we only ever see the one on the right, so therefore that must portray a globe. I don't know what you think the one on the left is.
I mean, it's just a very inaccurate model, to be honest. The Earth, the sphere that they've got there is absolutely tiny. You don't see the balloon taking off from the ground, comparable with what we would see on Earth with a balloon based to the size of the Earth. You need to model that based on reality. Nothing like that is based on reality. However, what you are seeing in that GIF, let me bring it up on my stream so everyone can see it, which is, showing that even though it's not based on reality because the sizes are wrong, it's still what we expect to see on a globe. Because on the one on the left, which is a globe, the horizon drops with altitude, which is what we expect to see. But the one on the right, the horizon isn't dropping with altitude. The horizon just infinitely in the distance. So, which one?
There is a drop. There is a dip of light in which you are calling the downwards curvature of the Earth. Yes, that is true. There is a dip.
It matches what we expect the globe to show as a dip. But my point was that as this is showing, the one on the right doesn't comport to reality because the horizon drops as you rise with altitude, which means that out of these two GIFs, the one on the left is more comporting with reality.
Nobody agrees.
Wow.
But the horizon does drop with altitude. I've proven that.
Right
Wow.
now,
That much?
picture that I posted at 51 minutes.
I'm doing it again. I'm proving once again on my stream that the horizon drops with altitude to the amount we expect.
Thanks.
All they have is they're calling this dip angle.
This
They're
thing
calling
on
the Earth.
talking for no reason. Thanks, I appreciate the space. Now, I posted a picture at 51 minutes past the hour, Globe Joker. We're at Lake Ontario, maybe 20 feet above the water, and we see the horizon in the distance, which happens to be the Toronto skyline. And then we go up in a plane 35,000 feet above the air, or above the grade, if you will, and surprise, surprise, the horizon is still there.
Okay, so where's the reference as to what eye level and that actually is? Because there's no reference here at all on that video as to what level is in any way. Whereas what I am showing on my stream right now actually has a reference to what level is and what eye level is. And that shows that the horizon has clearly dropped below eye level. And also, if you look on my stream again right now, this simple water level shows that even at 5,600 feet, there is a noticeable drop to the horizon from eye level. What you presented has no reference at all as to what eye level is.
Variation between the two pictures that I just shared, 35,000 feet in the air versus maybe 10,000 feet in the air.
Because again, there's no references on that as to what we're looking at. So there's no way to ascertain what is eye level and what isn't. You just have a picture with no data attached to it, and no way as a reference to tell us what eye level actually is. Let me bring up my stream so people can see it better.
The camera is not eye level. Why is it rising to camera level then?
Why is what rising to camera level?
It is.
What do you mean camera level? That's not a thing. With eye level, as in something that is level. The camera is level. There's no evidence here in any way that the camera is set up to ascertain if the horizon is dropping or not. However, like I have showed very simply, when you actually have reference points, you can very easily see that the horizon drops as you rise with altitude, as you expect on a globe Earth. Not according to that GIF that Shane showed. According to that GIF that Shane showed, the horizon should not drop on a flat Earth. So are you saying that the GIF that Shane showed is wrong?
The physical location of the horizon, the physical location of what you're fucking pointing to is ramping up. It is curving up.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, I would say that they're both 3D models, right? Like, and the one on the right is not perfect, but it's much closer to what we observe in reality.
Well, no, it's not. The one on the right, it shows the horizon doesn't drop. Shane, hold on one second. One second. One second. Let me finish the Shane.
Chill the fuck out.
I'm talking to Shane right now, so just chill. All right? I'm trying to respond to one of you at a time. Shane just said something, so I'm going to respond to Shane. Right. Shane, what you just said is completely wrong. The one on the right in no way represents reality because the one on the right shows the horizon not dropping, but it does in reality. The horizon drops as you rise with altitude.
How much do you think
the
it
amount
drops
we
off where
expect
it is
it to drop?
So, like, are you talking about like a 3-degree horizon dip count? Is that what you're talking about?
Well, yours is showing there's no horizon drop on the flat Earth.
So 0 is close to 3. If it should be 3 degrees and we're showing 0, that's close. The one on the left is way the hell off. You're saying the one on the left matches reality
one on the right,
more
there is no horizon
than the
drop.
one
It just
that's
goes into
3
the
degrees
distance.
off.
The one on the left dropped 100 degrees.
The one on the right, there is no horizon drop. That's what I'm saying. It just goes off into the distance.
Is that an infinite plane in the photo on the right?
I assume that that's what it's showing, yes. And it's just showing it go into the distance with no horizon drop.
So would it drop differently if it was not an infinite plane, if it was a finite plane?
I've no idea. Flat Earth would not drop, and that's the point. The one on the right here is showing that it's not dropping.
I'm asking about an infinite plane versus a plane that's not infinite.
Well, if it was a plane that was not infinite, and you could see all the way to the edge, then that would give us a defined point at which the horizon stopped. But that's not the case and not the claim of any flat
So you're
Earth
saying
I've
if it was right. So you're saying if it was not an infinite plane, that we would expect it to drop. Now, if there's
only if we could see all the way to the edge, which is not a claim that any flat earther has ever made, right? There's no flat earther here that's ever said that we can see all the way to the edge of the Earth.
Right. I said it one time, and then I realized if there's atmosphere, then of course we cannot see an infinite plane with atmosphere. So on a flat Earth with atmosphere, would the horizon appear to drop?
No, and it doesn't in that GIF.
Because that would make, if there was atmosphere blocking you from seeing forever, that would make the plane finite, right? You can't see anything.
No,
if the light was not pushing through,
just the apparent
our view of it is. Right. So if we can't see forever, if light is not pushing through, if light is not coming from that side,
we can see forever. We just see light.
Right. So if there's not enough light over there, then we can't see over there, right? So then it would have an end to it with atmosphere. That's assuming it's an infinite plane. So the horizon would drop on a flat Earth. Thank you.
But not according to this GIF that Shane's got there. It's not showing the horizon drop. But we do see the horizon drop in reality, and the higher you get by quite a distance. By quite an amount, as Mr. Sensible's thing showed with good references as to what is level, as the picture I showed from MC Toon when he took the shot from a plane with a level reference showing the moon below the eye level as well as the horizon. The fact is the horizon does drop on the globe at the amount that we predict.
Yeah. So again, we have in reality we have atmosphere. We have light, right, and we have a plane, right. So as we rise above,
well, no, you say we have a plane.
As we get higher, well, yeah, sure. So, but as we rise above it, right, we could see further. But as we see further, we're seeing through more and more atmosphere. So if I'm seeing further, then I'm seeing through more atmosphere.
Correct.
So So on a flat Earth, should the horizon drop, knowing that we have an atmosphere, that light is what we need to see. And as we see further, we're seeing through more atmosphere.
Well, no, because as you rise, the atmosphere density reduces, so you'd be able to see further through the atmosphere.
You're looking down at the atmosphere.
You just would not expect the horizon. What would happen, instead of it dropping, it would just become an indistinguishable blur, which, funnily enough, is what we see in the GIF that Shane presented there. Shane has excellently presented the difference between what we see in reality and what we would see on the flat Earth. And it doesn't match reality with the flat Earth. I see Jin is presenting pictures of refraction there, which is lovely. Jin's weird. Jin demanded a debate with me and then never came back.
Yeah, but I don't know if Egypt is still here. Are you still here, Egypt? He may have left when he was asking to. I mean, it seemed like he was really trying to get into this elevation angle and where you make your baseline. And it seems to me
the imaginary line between the sextant and the horizon, that's the baseline.
Yeah, one thing I don't get is how do you believe that the horizon wouldn't be below eye level if you rise in elevation? Who's got the echo?
On a flat Earth, there's no reason it would.
Oh yeah, as you rise above an object, no matter the shape, you should have to look down at it. That's absolutely stupid.
Well, the horizon would kind of move away from you and still be an infinite point.
Your horizon is at eye level, but the Earth would be below your eye level. So
right, okay, so you're saying that the GIF that Shane showed was wrong?
The GIF that Shane showed is a very realistic image of what we see in reality. But in that GIF, there's no
but we don't. On the GIF that Shane showed, the horizon doesn't drop in the slightest. So I mean,
actually, it does. It gives the
it doesn't. It just becomes an indistinguishable blur in the distance.
Yeah, but there's no
defined horizon there, which is what we would expect on a flat Earth.
Rise above a thing and not have to look down at it. Is it?
If the Earth was flat, the horizon wouldn't drop.
If I rise above my house, do I have to look down to see my house?
Your house isn't a horizon in the distance.
Yeah, you got to look down to see it, so the horizon's no longer at eye level.
Okay, right. So you disagree with the GIF that Shane's showing. That's fine.
I think that's obvious. You shouldn't have asked that question.
It's a 3D model. I said the one on the right more closely matches reality, and you said the one on the left. That's the whole discussion.
Yeah, the one on the left actually more closely matches reality because it shows the horizon dropping, which it wouldn't do if the Earth was flat.
FTFE, the one on the left and the one on the right have the same horizon. Do you agree?
This is all this guy's going to do. He's going to coward and lean back on there is a dip. Therefore, the Earth is curving down.
Okay.
Well, yeah, that's a good bloody reason to say the Earth's curving down if there's a dip.
Hey, Concave came back.
Hey, Egypt, can I comment on one thing before you?
Yeah, I just want to ask.
Yeah.
I just want to ask FTFE a simple question. The image on the left and on the right on Shane's GIF.
Yeah.
The horizon is in the same place, correct? With regards. No?
No. The horizon on the left one is the edge of the ball that's going down.
No.
Yes, that's the horizon of the globe. Whatever that is in the distance, that's not the horizon of the globe.
Okay.
In this
I'll
GIF.
ask it a different way. There is a line that is drawn across this image.
Yeah, but that's not the horizon of the globe. The horizon of the globe is the bit that's dropping down.
Yes, and so is the one on the right is dropping down. Everything in that image
is indistinguishable in the difference. And look,
can I just get my 2 words in, man?
Please. Please go ahead.
Everything ridiculous on both images are going down. They're going lower. Everything. If the way
I
look at the
disagree that the one on the right is
where it starts.
Oh my God, Rick.
Where it starts and
This
where
is
it
a conversation
ends.
to have
Everything
back and
on
forth.
both.
Chill.
Yeah. Can you agree that everything on both the left side and the right side of the image, as it progresses over time, everything does drop from where it initially started? Can you agree with that?
The horizon on the right-hand side doesn't. No.
No. What I consider is the horizon is the line that is equidistant and is
But that's not the horizon in this comparison.
That's fine. That's fine. Everything below that, right? Everything below that line is dropping over time with that GIF. Do you agree?
Not on the one on the right. No, the horizon on the right isn't dropping. It's just going further into the distance.
Everything else, I said, below that line, which I called the horizon. I mean, like... So what's the horizon
because everything isn't dropping. The horizon isn't dropping.
What's the horizon on the right side of the image?
It's the indistinguishable blur in the distance.
Yes, and that's exactly what you are right.
Do you see that on the left too?
The one on the left is not that blur in the distance. It's the no. The one on the left, the horizon is not the same. Is not that white line. That's not the horizon in this image. That's kind of just confusing, and I think that's what's confusing you.
What would happen on an infinite plane then, with, that we're seeing on the right? That you're seeing the horizon
It would just be an indistinguishable blur in the distance, like we're seeing there.
Yeah, I'd like to point out that you are correct, because what this is a 2D image, right? We don't live on a flat
Well, all
Earth,
images
right?
are 2D for us, aren't they?
Right, this is showing a two-dimensional plane, right? But in reality, right, when the horizon comes into view, it's because we have undulations, we have mountains, we have hills, we have valleys.
Unless you're over the sea, of course.
Right. So this is why, in reality, on a flat plane, as you ascend, get higher, right? There's a sharp line due to all of those different elevations of land in the distance. Yeah. So this is showing you a 2D
So this would be a better representation of, say, the surface of water, right? You know, let's say we're at sea state 0. You know, so it's the closest to flat the water is going to get at sea state 0. All right. In that case, what we're seeing here is just it go into the distance and become an indistinguishable blur. And I've sliced it.
Water does not stop moving and lay flat either. There's
waves. Well, no, of course not. That's why I said the closest to flat that we can get. When do you know what I mean by sea state 0? That is what we call the glassing when we're at sea. It's when even if you're moving, right, at sea state 0, it's hard to tell because the sea is so still. You know, the only way you can tell is if you look over the side and look at your wake, right? So that we're just imagine the most clearest, flattest sea that you've ever seen in your life, on both the globe and the flat here, on this what we're looking at, and it just shows that on a completely flat plane into the distance, it would just become an indistinguishable blur. It's exactly what Shane is showing in this GIF.
Without any undulations on the. I just want to.
Agreed. That's why I'm saying over water, because there's no mountains and stuff, right?
Yeah, so over water, we have our longest viewing sites in the Pacific Ocean. We can see further. That's where all the black swans come from. The Pacific Ocean is named the Pacific Ocean because it is the calmest water of the oceans, and this is why we can see the furthest, because those undulations, those little waves that are all the way off in the distance, are the calmest on that ocean. That's why we see the furthest. We do have a sharp horizon on a flat Earth due to mountains, hills, valleys, and moving water.
Agreed, 100%. You know, we know there's mountains and valleys and stuff, right? So in general, for us on Earth, you know, that's what is, you know, especially if we're over land, that's what's going to kind of make our horizon. Which is why you don't really do, if you're doing celestial navigation and you're on land, you don't use the horizon because it's not really the true horizon. It's more likely to be, you know, a hill or a mountain or something. But you know, when you're at sea, you can use the horizon because you can kind of class the sea as being as flat as possible. So yeah, you're right. We're looking at that image. We're looking at that GIF that Shane showed. Let me just put it up on my screen a sec, so I can think while I'm talking.
So FTFE, on the left side of the image, you're saying that's not the horizon, but on the right side, it is the horizon.
No, on that white line that white line is irrelevant to either image.
So
that white line is not the horizon in either image.
Okay, awesome. Is there a horizon in either image?
Yes, the horizon on the ball is the bit that you see dropping, going down. On the right, it's the blur in the distance.
Okay, so horizon has nothing to do with eye level.
No.
And nothing to do with horizontal.
No.
Okay.
Horizon comes from the Greek word meaning bounding circle.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it absolutely does. That is literally where the word comes from. Horizon comes from the Greek word meaning bounding circle.
For that Greek,
okay, 100.
Understanding of the word.
That's literally where the word comes from.
I mean,
I'm sorry, did you say circle or sphere?
No,
circle. It means bounding circle. Yeah, because the horizon is an equidistant circle around you.
Or something, right?
Yeah, the horizon is an equidistant circle around you.
Oh, just keep talking.
The horizon isn't a sphere. The horizon is a circle.
He doesn't shut the fuck up, does he, guys?
I'm answering your question. The horizon isn't a circle. The horizon isn't a sphere. It's a circle on the sphere. So
why is it
convenient? It's a circle. That's convenient. Does it say spherical in Greek or not, dude?
Yeah, I'm just getting
your
the
horizon is
etymology.
a circle because that's your sphere of view. Anywhere you turn, your horizon should be at a
You have a horizon no matter what shape you're on.
preliminary distance.
Right, so
Well, it's a circle
if
for
you
a
go
man
to
because
Wikipedia,
that's a
it shows
sphere of
this.
view.
Sorry, let me just respond to. So if you go to Wikipedia, it shows the word horizon derives from the Greek. I don't know how to pronounce that because I don't speak Greek. Kalos, I think,
Obvious.
or haiklos, meaning separating circle or bounding circle, to divide, to separate, which in turn derives from boundary or landmark. The horizon is a separating circle. It's a circle that is equidistant all around you.
So does that mean it's a sphere that we live on then? Is that smoking gun proof for the layman?
No, it also
Didn't think so.
Opa, to divide, to separate, opaque, process, boundary, limit, landmark.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But you know, the general use of the word horizon that we have now comes from the Greek
to separate.
Hokaios, separating circle, to separate. You know, it specifically talks about it being a separating circle or a bounding circle, depending on the translation. So Carnivore actually posted it there. The first recorded in 1540 to 50, from Latin horizon, from Greek kaiklos, bounding circle, or to bound limit. Yeah. So that's what horizon means. Horizon isn't for mean horizontal, just because they have similar words.
It's not exclusive to globe. The way you're presenting it.
A bounding circle as a horizon equidistant around you, is something that you would expect on a globe, not on a flat Earth.
You wouldn't expect it on a flat Earth. You wouldn't
Absolutely
have
not.
No.
On a flat Earth, you would not have a horizon equidistant around you. 100%.
Question for FTFE.
Go ahead.
If you were to have like an observer in an airplane making an observation of the horizon,
right,
including the dip angle, right? So we acknowledge that. If there were an observer all the way on the floor directly below the airplane, let's just pretend this is the static environment.
Sorry, say that again. I apologize. It cut out for just a second. Could you please repeat that
so
last sentence?
we have like an observer in an airplane like 30,000 feet or whatever. There's no math in any of this, so just in the air.
Okay.
Typically, where airplanes fly, looking forward ahead at his horizon.
Yeah.
He acknowledges there is in using instrumentation. He acknowledges there is a dip, but also using his eyes and his fingers, he also points to it, and it's directly in front of him. But anyways, that's.
Wait,
if you were to have
is there a dip, or is it directly in front of him?
That wasn't the point of it.
Sorry
for throwing that out there. No, there is a dip. We're acknowledging that, just like we see in real life. If you were to put an observer at ground level, directly fucking below this airplane, and you were to have them point at the horizon that this airplane is seeing, what do you reckon would be the angle of either inclination or declination?
They would be pointing through the floor.
From the observer at fucking ground zero.
Right. If the people at the ground zero at the floor were pointing at the horizon that the pilot was pointing at, and the people on the floor would be pointing through the floor.
See, ladies and gentlemen, that's it.
Well, that's just the geometry of a sphere. That's just the geometry of a sphere.
I understand it's the geometry of a sphere. I understand that's how the math has to work. I understand that's what a convex globe necessitates. But in reality, your fucking horizon's in the air.
No, the horizon's not in the air. The horizon is never in the air. That's a fucking dumb thing to say. The horizon's not in the air.
You're pointing to it when you're in the fucking plane, bud.
Yeah, you're still pointing at the ground.
In front.
The horizon is the point where the ground meets the sky. You're pointing at the ground.
In the air. You're pointing.
What do you think the horizon is?
Why would the person?
Dude, Doofus called it like 3 minutes ago. He said concave freak out T-minus 3 minutes. He was on it. Sorry, everyone.
Why would the person in the ground have a?
Why do you think the horizon would be in the air?
Take a breath,
You're being disingenuous. You have to actually consider that this one of these conspiracies could be real.
I have considered it many times.
I wonder, does a dip in the horizon from an airplane mean you had to look down?
Yeah, the horizon would be below eye level, 100%.
Dude, eye level is of the observer in the ground or in the air.
What?
That's in the fucking air.
Yeah, because we're talking about in the air.
I can't believe we death spiraled this far from that one little gift so far.
I know, and listen, what Concave is saying is your horizon is eye level, straight forward in front of you wherever you're at. That's what he's trying to say.
I'm not saying eye level, dude. Don't say eye level with these guys. They'll just end it right there. It's not eye level.
Yeah,
there is
yeah,
a fucking stupid small amount of this dip.
The horizon
exact
is
amount we expect on the
basically
globe,
the
yeah.
limit or limiting distance of a thing. Radar has a horizon, telescopes have a horizon, your eyesight has a horizon, it's a limit to your sight.
Yeah,
the person in the plane is pointing directly in front of them, almost.
No, they're pointing down. They're not pointing directly in front of them, they're pointing
person
down.
On the ground is pointing downwards.
Yeah, they would be to see the same horizon if they were pointing at the horizon the pilot was pointing at, because the horizon the pilot can see would be further around the curve. Because that's how geometry works. Please stop
we understand
eating
how
lead
the
paint.
geometry works. We're talking about reality and what.
Yeah, and that's how it works in reality as well. Please, for the love of God, stop eating lead paint.
Yeah, but what you're saying, Craig, would only be true on a perfectly smooth surface without topography.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. That's why I tend to talk about these observations.
Yeah,
over
because
water.
at ground level, your horizon is going to be dictated by the topography and landmarks around you. Yeah,
I agree. That's why, in general, when we're talking about celestial navigation and stuff, we tend to talk at sea, right? Because that's, you know, the least obstructed view of the horizon.
Ruhif, maybe you missed where we discussed there is waves and undulations in the water that would also create a horizon, and that our furthest viewing spots, right, on Earth, right, the Black Swan image and others are all taken mostly over the Pacific Ocean or the calmest ocean with the least amount of undulations that would create a hard, sharp line of a physical horizon.
So if there's a 6-foot wave, like a 2-meter wave, and you're 50 meters above, what's it going to block?
It's going to block some calculator math. I'm not sure.
What if you're at 1 foot from ground level or sea level and you've got a 30-foot swell out in the ocean? What's it going to block?
Don't do that.
Well, they do that, and it can be because of underground land masses, so it can never appear to go away. It may look calm, but it'll still be swollen because there's a current flowing over, say, an underwater mountain.
That doesn't happen.
It does. That's
does
what creates oceanic swells. What are you talking about?
There can be slight oceanic swells depending on how close.
There's underwater topography, bro. Yeah.
By how much?
What the naval officer was trying to tell you, but
it depends how close the underwater topography is to the surface and how fast the flow of water is in that area. It's generally not enough to affect measurements or for celestial navigation and stuff. But there is a few places around the world, especially in fast-flowing areas of the ocean, where it does have to be slightly taken into account.
I understand tidal bores, right? But we're not talking about tidal bores. Like we're talking about water not finding its level for some reason.
Funny
moving water and oceanic topography are what we're talking about. What you're talking about, I don't know. Water is turbulent. I get tired of hearing that seeking its level crap. Water is turbulent and it moves. It's affected by weather.
Well, it's affected by whatever forces are acting on it, isn't it?
Yeah. Heat, air pressure, wind, current,
like gravity.
convection.
Fish, whales, sharks.
Listen, you guys make the mistake always thinking flat earthers disagree with gravity. So I don't disagree with all the observations. I might disagree with the given cause. But I don't deny gravity.
No, I never said you did. I was just pointing out the fact that we have it based on any matter reacts to forces acting on it. That was just my point there.
Yeah, I can agree with that because we can demonstrate it's true.
Yeah, good. I'm glad that you don't agree with some of the dumbest. So that was fun. The horizon is apparently in the sky. That's a new one to me. Anyone else?
Keep that in mind. Thank you very much.
Wait.
Only he thinks that.
I'm
aware of the astronomical horizon. No, I'm kidding. Don't take me for serious.
Yeah, I think what he's saying is there's no perspective. It's actually rising, not appearing to rise, actually rising.
Thank you. There's still perspective. It's just also rising as well.
Okay.
Well, wouldn't the horizon continue to rise on a concave Earth?
Definitely.
It wouldn't be one. It would just fade off.
Yeah, where would you find it?
I mean, I imagine it would look similar to how Master Chief saw the halo the first time he came out of the ship, just rising up into the distance, right?
Yeah, like our blackbirds were just flying to the side of the inside of a ball.
Concave Earth. Oh, it's brilliant. So, no evidence of any of the claims that's been made here today, then.
Well, Egypt was making a really good point. Yeah, he was really making a really good point.
Who's making a good point?
That we use Egypt was, but that he might have cut out and let the concave have its day. But he was making a good point that we use elevation angles and we use the horizon and we use dip correction, meaning how far we elevate above the surface of the water. Then we assume that it's parallel, and that all parallels are to the horizon. All straight lines are parallel to the horizon there, and then we get our elevation angles in the air, assuming that the horizon is parallel.
That's not how celestial navigation works.
That's not how celestial navigation works. It's just how.
And elevation angles are kind of a base part of celestial navigation, and all of the maths behind celestial navigation shows that the Earth is a globe. Like the process of getting elevation angles and calculating your position based on that, it's all done on the assumption that the Earth's a globe, and it works 100%. So, I mean,
it works assuming two straight lines, one being horizontal and one being vertical, perpendicular to horizontal. Yeah.
Yeah, it can only work on a globe.
100%, yeah.
Getting an angle?
No, getting the elevation angle and using it to find your position. Which is what celestial navigation is, right? That's why we get elevation angles of celestial objects, is so that we can do some maths and find out where we are on Earth. You get, 3 different elevation angles of stars. You can then, figure out where you are on the planet. And all of that process is based on the Earth being a globe.
You can get a fix, is what you're saying?
Yeah, that's
so keep in mind, kids, repetition is the best way. Brainwashing. He just keeps saying, "Oh, it works on the globe. Oh, in the prediction zone, it assumes a globe, so it works on a globe, and it works."
Well, it does 100% work on a globe, and I talked through everything about celestial navigation.
Can't stop reaffirming it. Nervously
it's because
reaffirming
it's
it
true.
for some reason.
It's because it's true.
Show us how it works on flat Earth.
It 100% is true. Yeah. Why is it that not one flat earther has been able to show any of us how celestial navigation works if the Earth is flat? How come not one flat earther is able to get a...
But you deny it for the sake of
No, you have not one flat earther has ever been able to get a fix once we've given them elevation angles. No, you have not. Do it now then. Not one flat earther has ever been able to get a position based on elevation angles. Never.
It's not real just because you say so.
Celestial navigation.
All you're admitting with a fix is that something is broken and that you were lost, and that you have to readjust because you assumed the Earth was a globe. Now you need to get a fix. You need to readjust because the Earth's not a globe.
Well, the Earth is a globe, and all the math shows about it, right? When was this? 9 months ago.
Why are you getting a fix?
I'm the flat earther that's posted celestial navigation on the flat earth.
Yeah, I'm just looking at it, and I'm just.
It's in there, right? So there you go. And everything you've said thus far has been presumption.
Oh my God! Nothing in there shows how actual you get the fix.
There's no proof on your globe. Don't talk when I'm talking.
I'll talk whenever I want, little moron boy.
Big mouth. Just
quiet, moron.
Use your ears for a change. You're not your big
Nothing in this video shows how to get a fix based on elevation angles. I mean, it's even saying use triangles in celestial navigation. You don't use triangles in celestial navigation, you moron.
Watch it to the end. Watch it to the end and shut up. You're not watching.
I'm looking at it now.
You're just running up your big mouth.
And he does not get a position based on elevation angles.
You brought no evidence for the globe. Water does not adhere to the surface of a ball. It never
Gravity,
does.
water does whatever forces tell it to do.
You have to say which one you're talking about because
gravity is gravity.
Today, and as always, has never been proven.
Gravity's been proven very much so. Gravity has definitely been proven.
Unproven theory.
Gravity has definitely been proven. It's not just a theory.
Theory means not fact.
No, you don't know what it is. It's not just a theory, moron boy.
Theories is what you have.
Okay, right, so I've gone to the end of that video you sent. Hey, moron, I've just got... Moron, moron. I've just gone to the end of that video you sent, and he does not manage to get a fix of a position based on elevation angles. Why did you lie to
me? No, in that video, he doesn't actually do that. I've seen that video. I love that video, Jim, but he doesn't actually do what FTFE is claiming.
Yeah.
Right?
Because no flat earther has ever used actual elevation angles to find a location on Earth, ever. But the only people that have done it are people that do it based on the Earth being a globe, and it's always right.
Explains the process.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He tries to explain the process, explains it wrong, and doesn't show that it works. So he explains the process wrong. That's what he does in that video. Well done, Jim.
Yeah, but the first step is you need to have a horizontal line.
Yeah, it's an imaginary line. You can have an imaginary line on a globe.
No, it's not imaginary.
The baseline is an imaginary line between the observer and the horizon.
Yeah, and it's parallel to the water.
No, it's not.
Seems most things have to be imaginary on a globe.
That's just how celestial navigation is done, whether the Earth's flat or a globe. The baseline is an imaginary line from the observer to the horizon.
Yeah, and concave, it wouldn't be imaginary. It'd actually be there because it's curving up.
No, again, it's still an imaginary line. There is no physical line.
Oh, my Lord.
Right, but they do dip correction because they work under the assumption that the Earth is flat. And they elevate and do dip correction.
But the dip correction shows that the Earth's a globe.
That the horizon line they are making is parallel to the surface of the water.
But it's not parallel to the surface of the water.
Because they know in reality that the horizon is just the water, meaning the sky.
But the dip correction is based on a globe. All the maths is based on a globe. So
it's
when they're applying the dip correction, they apply the dip correction based on a globe.
What would you do on a foggy day, right? If all you could see was 500 feet out.
Well, you don't do celestial navigation.
How would you work out your dip correction then?
You don't do celestial navigation in those cases.
It's far. You got to go. You're running out of food. You got to go.
Well, then you use dead reckoning. That's the best you can do. You don't use celestial navigation when it's foggy.
Or you use a cup of water and put it on the bow and make an imaginary horizontal line.
Now you're just talking nonsense.
Not a curved line. You make a straight line. You need something to make
an imaginary line. Yeah, but again, when it's foggy, you don't do celestial navigation when you can't see anything.
Yeah, you can see up. You can see something up. You can't see the horizon.
No, you can't. When it's really foggy, you can't see anything. That's the point of...
On this day, it's semi-foggy. Too foggy.
On this day, it's semi-foggy, and what does that mean?
Not too foggy where you can't see the star.
Okay, well then you can just use like a leveling pool.
Right. So we assume water is flat, it's forming a horizontal.
No, level,
plane,
not flat.
And then we work off of that.
Level,
and we right, it's level, and then we form an imaginary horizontal line and work off that.
No, you don't. When you use the reflecting pool, you get the angle and you half it. But it's clear that you're not qualified for this conversation about celestial navigation, so why are you even trying?
I can say I'm qualified, but are you going to try?
In what way are you qualified? Have you ever done celestial navigation?
Yeah, just.
Well, maybe you guys can work it out anyhow.
You've done celestial navigation with a sextant and applied the maths and everything.
Maths.
Yeah, you need to. There's quite a lot of maths involved in celestial navigation. Yeah.
I do know maths. I went to school. Yeah.
Yep, so
what's your point?
You're saying you've done celestial navigation, so have you done the maths involved in celestial navigation?
Yeah, I can do math.
Have you done the maths involved in celestial navigation?
Is that a different kind of math?
It's a specific type of maths, yes. Have you done the maths involved in celestial navigation? Yes or no? Have you done celestial navigation and applied the mathematics to be able to find your position? Yes or no?
Theoretically, yes.
So you haven't done it then? So right, so
I haven't done it.
So you've used the mathematics that are involved in celestial navigation, yes?
Yes.
And that mathematics is entirely based on the globe.
No, it's not.
No, it 100% is.
In what sense?
Yeah,
FE, it literally uses the radius of the Earth.
Have you done it, FE?
Yes, I have. I've got over 1,000 hours with a sextant personally.
Yeah? Why don't I believe you? Why don't I believe you?
Come on, Jen.
Because you are a smooth-brained moron.
Can you see the video with sextant? I posted it. Flat Earth, sextant, flat Earth. Can you see it?
I'd like to add in, Jin. This is the 4th or 5th time Egypt has tried to have this conversation with Craig, and I think that Craig wants to avoid it for some reason.
No, how am I avoiding a conversation? I'm answering anyone's question. In what way am I avoiding it?
And by the way, I'm still waiting for you to pick up my challenge of a debate. Still waiting.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll debate here, no worries. Absolutely.
Waiting to have a debate with you. You know,
yeah, cool, here we are.
I am going to hammer you down in your seat.
All right, well, when do you want to do the debate? We can do it here anytime. You can come to my channel. We can do it here. When do you want to do the debate?
Now.
You want to do it now?
Everybody out the way.
Who is this?
Everybody stand back now.
Oh, this is Jin. Right, so Jin, why did you run away last time you asked me for a debate?
Shut up right now. Shut up.
Jin, why did you run away after you asked me for a debate last time?
We're doing it now. We're doing it right now. We're going to do it right now, yeah?
All right, Moran.
Here we go. Ladies and
okay, little boy.
Jin CBR1 versus Jin CBR1.
I am bored of him now. What was the other guy saying?
FTFG.
Hey, Flat Earth Egypt. Sorry, can you carry on with what you were saying?
I thought you guys are going to have a debate.
Oh, no, I'm bored of him now.
Right now. FTFG. FTFG. Fuck the fucking
so Flat Earth Egypt, what were you saying about the elevation angles again?
He's a wanker. There you go. Wanker. There you go. Ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, do I have the floor?
I would love for you to have the floor, but obviously Jin is desperate to have a go at me, but you were there first, so I think you should have the floor.
That's fine. I would go back to elevation angles and dip correction
and what
specifically. For some reason, correct me if I'm wrong.
Okay.
You kind of said dip correction does not exist on flat Earth. That's kind of what I gathered from your analysis of the GIF that Shane presented. But would you agree or disagree?
You wouldn't apply a dip correction the same way you do on Earth. I didn't say that there wouldn't be a dip correction because you would still be above the surface of the Earth, but you know, the maths behind the dip correction or whatever it was you would have to do on a flat Earth would be completely different to what it actually is in reality.
Yeah, the funny thing is that you just referenced and said whatever it was, right? That's the funny thing is
because
you keep asking me, did I do the math? Wait, let me finish, man.
Yeah, sorry, I apologize.
I'm speaking.
Yeah. Apologize.
So, so whatever that is that you need to correct for, what do you think you need to correct for when measuring or correcting for a dip angle? What's your correction there in the math specifically? Do you know that? Because you asked me. Now I'm asking you.
The dip correction is based on how far away the apparent horizon is and how far above the surface of what you are when you're taking that measurement. And the maths actually takes into account the, you know, what the dip would be based on how far away the horizon is, you know, based on how far away you are. So, and it's all based on a globe. I'm just trying to get back to my, here we go. So the dip angle formula from the Nautical Almanac, 0.97 times the square root of the height of I in feet, which maps out to having a curve, as it shows in the...
No, it does not. You're lying there, straight on.
This is literally mapped out using maths.
Come on, man. Jen. Okay.
Jin can say it's a lie, but the maths is there, and anyone can check it themselves. When you do that 0.97 times the square root with the height, I, and feet, it maps out to having a curve that matches what you would expect on the globe.
Yeah. When did you reify that curve into the surface of the Earth? How do you do that? The
curve of the Earth would be the surface of the Earth. There's no reification there.
No, in the math, in the calculation, you have. Hold on. You have assumptions, and you have measured figures, elevation to be specific. That's what you would use to measure, to so-called calculate your dip angle.
It's based on the assumption the Earth's a globe with the radius.
Let me finish.
Okay.
Sorry,
I thought you finished. I'm sorry.
Yeah. All you have when you do that with your, you have the almanac, all you have is elevation, correct?
Yeah, that's the main thing that you would use because it's 0.97 times the square root of the height of I and feet.
Everything else in your calculation there is an assumption.
How is nothing there is an assumption? This is what you would get.
So
if the Earth is a globe of the distance that we
you just said it. If you just said if.
Well, yeah, but the maths isn't an assumption. The maths is
the
based on
is
that
nothing more than an assumption.
No,
the math is okay. Let me.
The maths is what you would expect if this was the case. So the maths itself isn't an assumption, but this was all based on observations that have been made over time. So it wasn't ever really based on assumptions. It was based on data points that have been gathered. If you're this far away, then we need to obviously correct for this amount. And the Nautical Almanac was built over years and centuries of trial and error, right? And then what we found out was when we can map it out and do it mathematically, it actually turns out that it's a curve. And as this shows here, when you do that maths, the 0.97 times the square root of the height, I, and feet, which is what's in the Nautical Almanac, it maps out to a curve, right? And even if it was all based on an assumption, which originally it's not, it's based on data points over years, but even if it was just based on an assumption, the fact that it works every single time and gets you to your destination based on the maths of a globe shows that it works.
Yeah, are you saying if I assume a flat Earth, it doesn't work?
No, absolutely not. Celestial navigation does not work if you assume a flat Earth, 100%.
No, I can.
And neither does applying the maths for the dip angle that's in the Nautical Almanac. That also doesn't work if the Earth is flat.
No, it doesn't.
But the maths is correct.
No, see, you hold up this one set of mathematical equations where you assume shit about. You can go ahead.
It's not just one set. Nautical almanacs have been from thousands and thousands of data points throughout years and years and years, right?
See,
and it works. That's the point, right?
You don't even know what the almanac is.
Works. What do you mean I don't know what the almanac? As a sailor, of course I fucking know what nautical almanac is.
No, you just showed that you don't.
What, you don't think that the almanac was made over centuries and centuries of getting data points and putting them into position, or sailors watching the changing positions of stars?
Okay, what data points?
The data points of knowing that if you're a certain amount above the surface, you have to make this certain correction to make the calculations correct. The fact that sailors had to plot. Of course it does. How far you are above the surface is exactly what to do with it. That's how you do it.
Okay, so your argument when the flat earthers talk about the almanac with regards to the surface, you would say it has nothing to do with the surface. That's your argument.
No, I never said that. I said that the baseline is
the
nothing
horizontal,
to do with the surface.
Yes, the baseline, exactly, which is the measurement in your celestial navigation that is referenced in the almanac that you're denying here, right here. Like, you see,
that's what the dip angle is for, right? The dip angle is to bring the line down to the surface and have a tangent to the surface of the Earth, right? And when you apply that amount based on, I'm talking right now, and when you apply that amount based on your height above the surface of the water, and 0.97 times the square root of the feet, the eye height in feet, right? That's what you get to bring you down to that tangent. And when you map out that maths based on your elevation, it shows that there's a globe. It shows that there's a curve, right? And here's the thing, right? The tangent that you bring it down to from being above the surface.
A tangent to a globe.
Yes.
You're begging the question.
No, we're not begging the question. There's no begging the question involved in something that has worked for centuries.
So a horizontal. Oh my god. Okay, I'm done. Thank you, FTFE. Yeah, thanks, guys.
No worries. I love explaining celestial navigation to people who don't understand it.
I just wanted to ask you: does that 9.7 does that include refraction or no?
There's also refractive corrections that you apply afterwards.
Okay, that's all I wanted to know.
Yeah, that's also involved in the Nautical Almanac. You have your dip correction. You'll have your corrections that you do to the sextant to make sure that that's actually lined up properly. You'll have your corrections for refraction based on the current conditions. Time of year, etc. There's tables that take a lot of this into account. There's a bunch of things. There's called the algorithm, right? And if you follow the algorithm, it takes you through each step that you have to do in celestial navigation and all the corrections that you have to make. And it's all based on the globe, 100%.
So refraction, so not the actual curve of the Earth.
Refraction is taken into account afterwards. It's part of the corrections. If you know the current conditions, the temperatures, etc., the time of the year, what your average conditions are, then you can apply the appropriate refractive corrections. Because again, refraction is something that is known and quantified for centuries.
Yeah, so if you have something that you're trying to quantify that has two variables, right? Are you following, FTFE?
Yeah.
Let's say you have two causes for one thing, one effect. How would you establish either or?
Measure the variables. Measure temperature and density. Barometric pressure, temperature, boom, you've got everything you need.
What does that mean? How?
Because once you know those things, you know the temperature and density and therefore the refractive index of the air and the amount it's going to refract the light, so you can apply the appropriate refractive corrections.
So, in dip corrections, how did you measure? No. I'm giving an example of having different variables, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with dip correction, how did you know that relates to the curvature of the Earth?
Because we know what the radius of the Earth is.
Typically downwards.
That's what we expect it to be based on the curvature of the Earth. Oh, my pen died.
So it's what you expect.
Yeah, we've got a known radius of the Earth, right? And that formula matches the known radius of the Earth and also matches reality when you do celestial navigation.
In every instance.
Every instance, yes. That's why sailors get where they're going. I mean, there's always a margin of error in everything, okay? If you do celestial navigation, you'd probably be like a kilometer or two out in general, right?
Weird thing is, so celestial navigation requires perceptual, requires us to use our perception to navigate, right? So we're mapping our reality. When we do celestial navigation, we're mapping our reality over a convex lens of our eyes, correct?
Oh my God.
That's besides the point, because celestial navigation works. I would argue the whole basis of celestial navigation is one of a flat Earth. But that's where me and FTFE would disagree. And he can go on his spiel and explain how he begs the question. That's fine.
There's no begging the question about celestial navigation. It's based on real world.
You already said it. If I assume the Earth is a globe with these measurements, which actually coincide with what I'm seeing.
It matches reality. We use those measurements and we get where we're going. There's no begging the question involved in empirical measurements.
No.
Right? Again, we've measured, but there's no begging the question involved because we've measured.
You measured the curvature of the Earth?
Yeah, the curvature of the Earth has been measured lots of times. We know that the Earth is curved. It's been measured. We know what the radius of the Earth is. So there is no begging the question in celestial navigation.
Shadows? How did you measure the curvature of the Earth?
It's been done many times throughout history.
Not history.
Yeah, many times throughout history.
How do you measure it now?
Oh, you could use like pictures from space and radar and many different methods. But we could use extremely accurate surveying methods, which is done all the time. Even more accurate than the ones from the 1800s that were pretty close. There's many ways to measure the surface of the Earth, but it's a known quantity. The measurements of the Earth are something that are known, so there's no begging the question by using known measurements.
So throughout history, the circumference of the Earth was the same. Whenever it was quote unquote measured.
Measurements get more and more accurate throughout time.
Okay, so
when Eratosthenes measured them 2,500 years ago, he got pretty damn close. But that's the thing, science improves all the time. It gets more and more accurate. Science never claims to be complete or 100% accurate. We might get more accurate measurements in the future that show that the ones that we've got now aren't completely 100% right. But not right, but less accurate. Sorry, but there's nothing wrong with having more accurate measurements throughout history. But throughout history, the radius of the Earth is a known quantity that has been applied to mathematics that works. So it's not begging the question if we know the radius of the Earth.
But you don't.
We do know the radius of the Earth. It's been measured.
Well, show me.
Show you the measurements of the radius of the Earth.
They're given. The numbers are given, but not been proven to be real.
They're definitely proven when they're physically measured,
but they don't exist.
Like the transcontinental triangulation of the American arc of the parallel, for instance.
At best, they're assumptions.
They don't exist in.
Surveyors don't use assumptions.
Well, show me where a surveyor measured the surface of the Earth.
The transcontinental triangulation of the American arc of the parallel.
Say that again, please.
The transcontinental triangulation of the American arc of the parallel.
He's saying calculation. That's the word he's saying.
It's measurements.
They calculated it.
Yeah, they measured it. Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. Say it again, very slow.
The transcontinental triangulation of the American arc of the parallel. Just go to mctoon.net/r. That's the best way to do it.
No, I'm not going to go to mctoon.
If you don't want to find a good place of all the...
No, give me some proper reference. Don't reference mctoon, man. What the fuck?
I'm not referencing mctoon. I'm saying his website contains a list of the references.
Okay.
The reference itself is US.
Yes.
and GS.
USGS? What?
Why can't you just
US
post
Coast and Geodetic Survey is what it was.
I could post as many as you want, or you could just go to mctoon.net/r and look at them yourself.
Why does anybody have to go to another person's website?
The problem is
because that's a good place to go to find them.
You just plug in some other shit, dude. Quit it.
It's just a website, dude. It's just a place to go to find them. You could go to any reference websites.
Dumb shit.
It's just a reference website. That's all. Don't let it hurt you.
That's fine.
Fine, then post the shit here so nobody has to go through the pain of.
No, it's an easy way to find it. You can just go to mctoon.net/r. If you don't like it because you're a little baby, that's your problem.
Holy shit! Plug it a couple more times. Everybody, shut up.
Yeah, where the reference is for all the things. That's a brilliant place to find them. That you don't like the name is kind of a you problem. Kind of childish as well.
It's not that I don't like it.
It is.
Been demonstrated to be false. All of it. And
nothing's been demonstrated to be
false. Dude, if people just listen to your tone of your voice, they know you're wrong. That's how bad you are.
Well, when I've got all the maths and everything to back me up, yeah, of course I'm wrong.
Well, then you just say, "Oh, but I'm the right one because I'm right because I'm confident and I'm right."
Because I've got the empirical evidence to suggest that I'm right.
That's all you do.
Okay.
Well, all you said earlier to Egypt was you said.
Thank you, Doofus. I appreciate that for posting that. The American Arc of the Parallel there.
Thank you, Doofus. We appreciate it, Doofus. That's awesome, Doofus. So you said if the Earth is a globe, meaning if the reason that we can't see any further is that the physical ground beneath me is falling away. So you said if the reason we can't see any further, being a globe. So that's how you do your dip correction. You assume that that's the reason you can't see any further.
Well, it's based on empirical data from years and years and years of creating nautical almanacs and the known measurements of the radius of the Earth. Again, there's no begging the question or anything, because this is just all based on known quantities. Just because you don't agree with the quantities doesn't matter. That's more of a you issue.
You're just basing
No, you haven't presented. You keep saying we know. We know.
It's the measurements are there in the chat right now.
No, they're not.
They are.
Can you explain them?
Doofus Manfred is presented.
Can you summarize? Can you summarize how we measured
using
the curvature of the Earth?
geodetic surveying methods?
That's not a summary. That's
a pretty good summary. They did it using the methods that geodetic surveyors use.
Ooh, thank you. Now I got it. I mean,
would you like to go and research geodetic surveying some more so you can understand it? That's totally up to you.
Maybe you should. You're the one who can't explain your own fucking
I've talked for it many times.
I'm talking to you right now. I'm asking.
Okay.
You. So what does that mean?
I actually went through these not last week. I went through these 3 weeks ago on this show. So if you want to see me talk about it, just go back 3 weeks and have a look there.
Oh, are you tired? Maybe
a little bit. Yeah, it's 10 to 2 in the morning, and I'm still a bit hungover.
Yeah, so you're tired. You can't.
A little bit. Yeah. Is that okay? Am I allowed to be tired? Is that all right with you?
Yeah, no.
No worries. Yeah. So all the information is there. Just because you don't like it is kind of a you.
Come on, man. No, I'm not calling you out. I'm just asking you out. Like
using the methods that geodetic surveyors use.
Okay, because in my mind, I would disagree, but that's fine.
You would disagree that the geodetic surveyors that did that used geodetic surveying methods.
No, none of that.
So what were the geodetic surveyors doing if they weren't using geodetic surveying methods?
They were taking they're finding a presupposed radius and making sure that
they're seeing if their measurements match the radius that is presupposed. And funnily enough,
geodetic. It does. Do you even know what begging the question is?
Geodetic surveying is not begging the question. When you compare measurements to an expected result, is not begging the question. Fuck's sake.
So when you tell me, do geodetic surveyors use geodetic methods? What's your question implying here?
I didn't have a question. You were the one with the question.
Your own questions? Are you listening?
I didn't ask the question. You did. Are you so confused that you don't know which of us in this conversation is asking questions?
Listen to the record. Is this recorded? I mean,
it's live on my channel right now to several hundred people.
Yeah, that's exactly what you asked.
Where you were asking me about geodetic surveying methods. I wasn't the one asking you about that. That was you.
I never mentioned geodetic. Yeah, that was you. I never
geodetic surveyors use the methods that geodetic surveyors use.
No, I never said geodetic. Never.
Okay, cool.
You can go back and listen.
Yeah, that doesn't make much sense, Craig, right? I mean, why would he say that? You said that, bud.
He was asking me questions about the methods, innit? When I said they use geodetic surveying methods, he asked me, well, tell me about those.
There's that
again. Yeah, the geodetic just means it's like a fancy word for globe. So it's like they use globe measurements to make globe measurements to.
Well, no, I don't think you understand, right? They have what is expected, and then they compare the measurements they make to the expected. That's
and
it.
What if they don't?
And is that to you fact?
Well, when they actually do the physical measurements.
Yeah, if it aligns, is that fact?
And it did align. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, would that be then fact?
Would the physical measurements be fact? Yes, the physical measurements would be fact.
The ones that are aligned with the model you presented. Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, so if you physically measure some, that's not comparing results to expected results is not begging the question. You have no clue what begging the question is.
I do. Do you?
No, you don't. You think comparing results to an expected value is begging the question.
No,
that's fucking hilarious.
Stop straw-manning me. No.
That's exactly what you just said.
No, I never said that, man. What the hell?
You literally just did.
Maybe if you calm down and listen.
You literally just said that.
Really? Quote me. Oh my god, man.
This is going to rewind like 20 seconds.
Like, honestly, man, FTFE, I engaged with you because I thought you were, like, intellectual. But at this point, oh my god.
How do you think comparing... why do you think that geodetic surveyors doing their job is begging the question, then?
Because they assume shit that they then present as fact.
Flat earthers are so stupid.
Where? They make measurements. They physically do measurements.
Measurements of what?
With the imaginary
curvature
line,
of the Earth.
The one that you did, yeah, when you claimed earlier, it's an imaginary line. Imaginary line. So what are they using to make these physical measurements with their imaginary line?
Geodesic
the only
surveying
question
measurements.
I have is, are these measurements, do they have corrective equations that include spherical trig or no?
Are we all just dogpiling questions real quick?
If it shows spherical excess, then that's what they use. They don't add spherical
actually,
equations.
they use corrective equations with trig, spherical trig, and geometry. It's called the coefficient
No.
of
What you're talking about is
I'm going to get it out.
What you're talking
It's
about
a coefficient of
is when,
expansion.
Yeah, what you're talking about is when they're comparing it to what it would be if it was flat, and the transformation between
No, that's
flat
when
and
you
spherical.
take somebody else's measurement, because geodetic surveyors don't usually go out in the field. They take planar and civil engineers' measurements, and they add
Geodesic surveyors don't use planar in any way.
And they correct it by the coefficient of expansion.
No, they do not.
Well,
They
I say
physically
do. You
measure.
got a citation-
They physically
you
measure
got a citation that proves me wrong.
You've got a citation that proves you right.
It's what I do for a living.
Well, you're a geodesic surveyor for a living, are you?
I'm a civil engineer. I'm a highway
No, so
engineer.
you're not a geodesic surveyor for a living. Right, cool.
Yeah, and neither are you.
No,
that's
but
why I asked
know
for
about
a
geodesic
citation.
surveying,
I want to
but
know where you got your information from the
triangulation of the American arc of the parallel.
You're citing the people you're citing.
Yeah, from the transcontinental triangulation of the American arc of the parallel. It actually explains the method quite clearly in the first 2 pages.
Yeah, triangulation, and it uses corrective coefficients of expansion.
It doesn't use correctives. It uses physical measurements, and if it has a spherical excess.
What is the coefficient of expansion, Craig?
The coefficient of expansion is what you would have if you were transforming a planar triangle to a spherical triangle, and the amount that the edges would have to be moved
Why
out.
would you need to transform a triangle that's using triangulation from planar to
But they're not using that in the
Because-
measurements. They're saying that's what this would be, and if it was flat. If it was
That's
flat and this
because
was the measure, let me
you're
finish.
actually
Let me
measuring the
finish.
truth.
Let me finish.
You're actually
Right? Let me
measuring
finish.
the true triangle.
Let me
in
finish.
reality,
Let me
Nobody
finish.
measures as a
Let me
spherical
finish.
triangle.
Let
and then
me
you correct
finish.
it with the
No,
coefficient.
you're wrong. You're,
Look, dog,
I mean, you
I'm
don't want. You're
I don't
scared
give
to let
a
me
fuck.
talk because you don't know what you're talking
finish
about.
what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, you're scared to let me talk because you don't know what you're talking about.
I'm not scared.
You are scared to let me talk. You're scared to let me talk because you're scared to let me talk because you know I'm going to prove you wrong. That's what it is.
Listen, little
Yeah,
child.
so as I was saying,
I was in the middle of my sentence, and I'm a
you
bigger
finished what
fish
you were
here
saying,
than
and I
you.
was
You think
responding.
this is really
So maybe
gonna work?
let me finish
Yes or
what I'm
no?
saying. So
No.
as I was saying, the correction is only
Like
comparing
I said, they don't measure spherical triangles in reality. So
yes, they
use the
absolutely do.
coefficient
They
of
measure
expansion
triangles, and if there
corrective
is a
equations.
spherical
You've already
excess,
admitted
they
they're
take that
in
into
the
account.
PDF.
Nope, you're
Anybody
completely
can
wrong.
look this up and see the
Yeah,
method is
anybody
produced.
can look this up and see that you are 100% wrong.
Thank you.
Okay, so
Fucking
what you're talking
child.
about is a specific page in the transcontinental triangulation, the American arc of the parallel.
Baseline measurement.
Once again, you're scared to let me talk. I understand. If you're scared to let me talk, so I'm not going to bother. It's all right. You don't deserve the explanation because you're far too scared to let me talk.
It's an abstract that
That's fine. I understand that you're scared to let me talk. That's fine.
That shit don't bother me, bitch.
No, I get it. I get it. You're scared to let me talk.
No, you don't. You're just a child.
No, I do. I understand that you're scared to let me talk because you know I'm going to prove you wrong.
I'm not
so
scared.
I don't need to. Right?
I'm tired of your fucking mouth running people over.
You're scared. You are scared to let me talk. You're still not letting me talk because you're scared to.
Fuck you and your fucking
so you are scared to let me talk. I completely understand. No worries.
Yeah, quit projecting, dude.
Yeah, thank you. No worries. No worries. I understand how scared you are.
Maybe Royal Marines get scared, but
I understand how scared you are to let me talk. I completely get it. No worries.
Or was it just EP measuring for a little while?
I think it was just dick measuring for a while.
No, it's just Craig wanting to tell somebody how they feel.
I get that you're scared. It's fine. I don't need you to.
I'm not scared.
I'm not worried about it. You've proven how scared you are. It's fine. It's fine.
Jesus Christ.
You idiot.
Dude, nobody's scared.
Anyway,
get back on.
I've shown
being scared, you idiot, and just have the conversation.
Bite me, moron. He's obviously scared. What's that, moron?
No,
Homo habilis is growing. His opposable thumb says what?
And let him have the conversation, you idiot.
Oh, I've tried to have the conversation, but he was too scared to let me talk.
You're not. You just talk shit. Stop telling everyone they're scared.
You're scared.
Shut up and have the
Why are you shouting? Is it because you're scared?
This is his door.
Are you shouting at me because you're scared? Is that what it is?
Oh my god.
Okay, now?
Are you so scared that all you can do is shout? Is that what it is? I understand. I understand how terrifying I am to you guys. I understand how I rip your world apart. I get it.
He will do it more to annoy you. Please be aware of that. Jesus.
God, Shane gets it. Shane, how did they not figure this out yet, honestly? Anyway, guys, I've had great fun tonight. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you, FTFE. Thank you so much.
He's going to leave it and just leave us in Royal and Chaos.
Honestly, I appreciate the fact that you come in here talking to 100 flat earthers.
Oh, I have great fun. And I know that there's like we shout and stuff back at each other, but just take it as fun. That's how I want to do it.
Yeah.
Right.
No, I enjoy it, and I'm sure you do. Which
of course I do. To me, absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope no one's really emotional. I think we're good.
We're all sick in the head. I mean, I'm sick as much as you are, but
from the minute I said I was a highway engineer and I'm certified in survey, I've been talked over. So I'm not scared.
You said you're not a geodesic surveyor, so you know.
Yeah, I never said I was, Craig.
Yeah, so you can't talk about geodesic surveyors then, so it's fine.
I said I survey for a living.
You do planar surveying, which isn't geodesic surveying, so it's cool. No worries. You were too scared to let me talk, so I completely understand. Guys, next week.
No, it means
next week if Jin. Next week, if Jin wants to have a debate, then
corrections for spherical.
Yeah, no, they just measure, and if there's spherical excess, boom. That's what it is. They measure a triangle, and if the angles add up to more than 180, it's spherical excess. Yeah, the coefficient of expansion, it just talks about the possible transformation between a flat and a spherical triangle. That's all, not the measurements.
Hey, Craig,
so, anyway, let me finish what I'm saying. Jin. Jin.
When was the last survey?
Jin, so next week, Jin, if you want to debate, let's do it 1v1, right?
Never done a survey?
Yeah, so, Jin.
Yeah,
so,
I've been waiting for it.
Cool. Right, so next week, midnight, Jin, just me and you, 1v1, all right?
Good times, Craig. See you next week, man.
See you next week, guys. Triggered. Oh, that's so much fun. Oh, the transformations that he's talking about is that when they compare, if this was a flat triangle, then what we would have to do is push out the edges like this. But the fact is that when they measure the triangles, it shows that the angles are more than 180 when you add them up. That's called spherical excess. So don't add that in. There's no calculations to add spherical excess. It's just what's measured. And they're never going to understand this. I had fun tonight, guys. What about you? Super chat time and then bedtime. Pilo1408 for $2 says, are they planning to audit other space agencies? No, they're just going to audit NASA because NASA are so deceptive. What are they going to fucking ask NASA? Show us the proof that you're in space. Well, there's a rocket in space showing a video. I don't believe you. Too bad. You cannot audit a federal agency, right? It's just not something that you can do. You're not allowed. Let me read this thing that I got. It shows. So as a citizen, you generally do not have the legal authority to conduct an official audit of a federal agency. Auditing federal agencies is typically a responsibility of federal agencies themselves, the Government Accountability Office and the inspectors general, who are appointed by the President and confirmed by the Senate. No, you cannot audit NASA. You have no right to audit NASA. They're going to laugh at... I mean, we're already laughing at you. String News 1 for $2 says genocide. Flat Earthers aren't a race. No, they're a mistake. Fireheart 60 Airsoft and More member for 29 months. Thank you very much. Says, hi, love seeing Flat Earthers get owned. That's what we're here for. String News 1 $2 says if they were a race, they'd lose. Yeah, they'd lose a race with themselves. PhD Tony, the only real man in the room for $10 Australian, says, have these clowns ever done a formal science course, completed an exam or assignment, had their understanding verified by any form of external assessment? Because I have, as have other scientists. Yeah, the answer is no, they haven't. They make shit up and expect you to accept it. Oh yeah, you're right, Steve. Well, you know, the audit NASA thing, that's it. Top left is done. It's Witsit. Although Flatzoid's trying hard. String News 1 $2 says in Hebrew, flat Earth means to deceive. And then String News 1 for $2 says, where's your evidence of flat Earth? Nope. And then String News 1 says for $2, better a big nose than a tiny brain. Is that what they've got? The fact that I've got a large schnoz. Look at the fucking size of it. Right. When I go doing backstroke, they shout, shark! Shark! Yeah. And calling me four eyes. These aren't eyes. These are lenses. Turing Test 2 for £10. Thank you very much. Says, hey Craig, thank you for the clown show. Thank the Flat Earthers. And then Phillips Craig for $2 says, hashtag thanks Jim. RT96 for $5 says, when I was a child, I spoke as a child, I understood as a child, but when I became an adult, I embraced my childish ways and still think as a child. Who the fuck wants to grow up, man? That shit's boring. Andy Babb for $1.99 says, please ask why not to drop the BS, admit they are anti-Semites. A lot of them are, but you know. Ted LaCoca for $1.99 says, still no one can explain the Southern Star rotation. I can. Magic. And another one for $1.99 says, but IRS at my eye level, so it's true, you know? Yeah, no. When Shane was showing that GIF, and the one on the left is what more accurately represents reality, it's just fucking hilarious. Nathan Bishop for $10 says, ask them why, if the Earth is a pizza, can't we see the sun 24/7? They can never explain that. Because as I've shown several times, even modelling it out for them in the most basic of ways. Where is it? Where's my model? Oh, I've lost my model. Here we go. Yeah. So even when I map it, model it out for them in the most basic of ways, there's no way the sun could set if the Earth was flat. End of story. Polymer47, $2 Canadian says, why aren't they this picky over flat Earth evidence? Because they're biased? Because they've got cognitive dissonance? Because they're hypocrites? Pat in the chat, member for 13 months, says, how much would humanity's average IQ go up if we took Flerfs out to the sun? Two crows are smarter than these idiots. Yes, they are. Pat in the chat for $5 says, I love it when Flerfs give their own credentials like they actually give a fuck about them. Yeah, credentials only matter when apparently the Flat Earthers have them. And a Sarah Jones member for 6 months says, auditing NASA just makes me think of Nathan Thompson, just walking into NASA and harassing stuff. Just me. No, you're right. I really hope Nathan Thompson gets involved because that'd be fucking hilarious. Right, let's end the poll. Right, on a scale of 1 to 10, what is the average IQ of a flat earther? 6% if you chose 6 to 10. 47% if you chose 1 to 5, and 45% if you chose 10 to the negative 17. So, I guess we think the average IQ of the flat earther is between 1 and 5. Good fun. Good show tonight, guys. I will see you very, very soon. On Saturday, Robert Greenlee is taking on Flatzoid, and I've got a new episode of Debate Shorts, and still working on the new episodes of Flerfs Idiots. So, lots of stuff to come. I've had fun. You were amazing. I'll see you all soon. Remember, stupidity is not a right. Fight the flat earth.
Fight the flat. Fight the flat. Fight the flat.
No, Graham. You're all heroes.
Fight the flat. 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 Fight the flat.